She joins us now, sharing her story. Natanya, thank you so much for being with us. I can't imagine what you've been through since 1999, and then all the emotions that must be coming up over the last couple of days.
I can tell you that immediately, the moment she opened her mouth, you could see that Combs was listening intently to everything that she had to say, as well as those jurors.
After Jennifer Lopez was dragged into the Diddy lawsuit over allegedly being the gun mule in a 1999 nightclub shooting where Diddy and J-Lo allegedly made a rapper named Shine take the fall and spend 10 years in prison for them, people have started digging into her past and it raises some questions.
I don't know if he was present with that, but you know, I know he had been hanging around with him in London, in Paris, different places.
Law enforcement sources are expecting the feds to widen the Diddy probe to include previous criminal investigations. Now, we know Diddy was criminally investigated regarding that shooting in New York, but I didn't realize the extent of J-Lo's involvement.
And I said, Puffy shot me in my face. This man testified. I testified in the criminal trial. This man testified in the criminal trial. People are like, why didn't she speak up then? Why is she saying something now? She want clout. Are you dumb?
J-Lo is just, I don't know. Every man she's been with has said the same thing, except for Diddy. Diddy's the only one that said she was a great girlfriend and how he wish he hadn't messed it up.
Well, she deserved it. She's one of the flyest out there.
Yeah, well, she thinks that of you too. She named you one of the great loves of her life.
Yeah,
was she one of yours too?
Yeah, without a doubt.
Without a certainty, this is not JLO's year. Just when we thought she had the most romantic story imaginable, the Me Now documentary flopped and she became entangled in a divorce. The interesting thing is that there are allegations linking all of this to her past relationship with the disgraced businessman, Diddy. We're going to reveal some amazing hypotheses at the end that suggests Ben left J-Lo because of Diddy. So stay tuned.
Everybody else that's left her, oh, she was too this, she was this, she was that. But Diddy said she was perfect.
Maybe she was meant for the medal.
What happens if you're only perfect for the devil?
Ben Affleck actually recently walked away from J-Lo because these allegations were coming out.
And isn't there even some concern that, or proof that Pastor T.D. Jakes?
Well, I'm getting right there. So there's this big list that Diddy said, I'm not going down alone. Because Cat Williams went on a podcast a while back, and Cat Williams, who's a well-known comedian in the black community for a long time, he went on a podcast and basically just regurgitated all this information that was just so valid. And he said, all these people, he said, you got God on one side, and then you got the other side. And he said, the other side, they're all going down in 2024. And he mentioned that he was offered $50 million 4 separate times to join in with these Diddy parties to basically be sodomized. And he turned it down every time.
To help his career.
To help his career, to bring his career to the next level.
You're on a raft.
Yes.
In the middle of the ocean.
Right.
You look in the water.
That would make me give me so much anxiety. Go ahead.
Oh, this is about to give you more anxiety. You look in the ocean, you see 2 people floating.
Oh,
you can only pull up one because that's how much room you have on your raft. You look in the ocean, you see Ben Affleck, and you see Diddy. That's it! J to the L, give me 5.
Relationships started to fall apart after a club shooting in 1999. Diddy reportedly knocked a drink out of someone's hand, starting a brawl at a pub in New York. 3 individuals were injured during the quick escalation, including Nada Rubin, who claimed that a gunshot from Diddy hit her in the face. After the incident, Diddy and J-Lo ran away but were apprehended soon after. Diddy was temporarily held following his arrest, while J-Lo was released from detention hours later. He and his bodyguard were eventually released, despite facing serious accusations, because the key witness Jennifer claimed they were both innocent. When asked about the case, she was questioned. Are you sure Puffy won't be found guilty in this trial? Yes, I am. Are you planning to testify, if I'm needed? Since everything has come to light, some believe she may have made her biggest mistake by lying to save Diddy's name.
Car drove by, saw a female hand throwing a gun out of the car. You're the only female in the car. You don't want to talk about it? You very confident that Puffy will be found innocent in this trial?
Yes, I will.
You going to testify?
If they need me.
And he had a sex tape on J-Lo.
Jennifer Lopez has multiple things.
We knew then that there was a nice tape out there on J-Lo.
Mr. Combs was in the tape, and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs.
His father done things to him that he should be in jail for.
And I can tell the video was graphic in nature.
Can't tell you about the first time I met him, the real truth. Can't speak on it, you know. Some stories gotta be untold.
Who was truly to blame? Do you know Moses Michael Barrow, also known by his stage name, Sheen? Many had never even heard of Diddy's apprentice, a teenage rapper at the time, who was present at the club that night. Despite the chaos, it was Shine who received a prison sentence. Diddy and Jennifer continued dating for around 2 years after the incident, eventually splitting in 2001. In interviews, both spoke positively about each other and showed no signs of animosity. However, many people still wonder whether the two shared a deep bond, perhaps forged by the crime they experienced together. Now that Diddy is entangled in multiple legal issues, public opinion is shifting. While nothing has been officially confirmed, voices are getting louder. In a recent interview, Shy Now, a grown man who served 9 years in prison, claimed that Diddy had destroyed his life when he was just 18. He alleged that after the shooting, Diddy turned on him and encouraged others to testify against him for something he says he didn't do.
I was defending him, and he turned around and called witnesses to testify against me, and he contributed. He pretty much sent me to prison.
Fact that Nada, the shooting victim, never changed her story is also strange. She clearly stated Diddy was pointing the pistol at her when he shot her.
And I said, Puffy shot me in my face. This man testified. I testified in the criminal trial. This man testified in the criminal trial. People are like, why didn't she speak up then? Why is she saying something now? She want clout. Are you dumb?
All of these accusations are true. Jennifer might potentially be in serious danger. She had reassured everyone that Diddy was innocent and didn't have a gun. People are now left wondering why everything appears so confused and why she still seems so close to him. Some believe it's because Diddy has something on her. Suge Knight has made similar claims from jail. Now let's talk about one theory as to why Ben left jail. Suge, a well-known rap artist, said on his podcast he runs from prison that the FBI's alleged seizure of recordings from Diddy's house played a role in the breakdown of Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck's relationship.
And then have a family, and I got 3 kids now, and it's a whole long road later, and I have a much better sort of perspective on it all, although it still can be very confusing and difficult to deal with.
I'm quite sure they probably called the FBI gave that courtesy call to Ben Affleck. It's a white man who got respect in the white world. I'm quite sure they said, we want to show you some things. It's about your wife.
During the federal raids on Sean Diddy Combs' homes in Los Angeles and Miami earlier this year, it was reported that Diddy had cameras everywhere in his house and that he kept videotapes of prominent people engaging in compromising actions and illicit activities hidden in his safe.
These tapes were not your average home movies. These shocking recordings might shed light on JLO's alleged involvement in the 1999 case. He said the videos included sequences proving that Jennifer lied when she claimed Shine had the weapon leading to his incarceration. She was allegedly acting as Diddy's stand-in at the time and fully aware that the gun actually belonged to him. Suga believes that JLo and Ben Affleck are now at odds because Ben is in possession of those recordings. He even claimed that the FBI handed the footage over to Ben as soon as they discovered it. So, the question is, are the feds now pursuing JLo? Did Ben back out before becoming more deeply involved? It's a wild theory, but a compelling one. While it's uncertain whether this is based on hard evidence or just another Suge Knight myth, it has undoubtedly made people re-examine the sudden breakdown of the Hollywood couple. Could it really be something as simple as bad press? Or is there a deeper truth? The idea that JLo and Diddy ever had a deeper connection, whether for PR or personal reasons, may have been enough to set Ben off. Combine that with JLo's reputation as a high-maintenance celebrity and constant media presence, and you've got a recipe for disaster. Let's take a closer look at the clash in personalities between the two lovers.
As fate would have it, 20 years later, here we are.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I felt inspired in the same way that I did when I did that first record. I was like, I'm gonna make This Is Me now.
If Jennifer was in love with Ben, it is obvious that he was the one who chose to end their relationship. Ben could have just taken a more stern stance, considering how clear it is that celebrities are hurrying to distance themselves from Diddy.
My life, been through a lot of different kinds of experiences with the press, and it's not my favorite part of the job. It's not what I would choose to.
Coincidence?
I know Jennifer Lopez has multiple tapes.
There's definitely a tape out there. Somebody gave me like a minute of a female that was allegedly J-Lo on it. I was gonna put out a DVD on that. J-Lo had her business attorney, this guy named Benny Medina. He was the one managing J-Lo and Puffy at the time. That's the only reason we was going after J-Lo. J-Lo was with Puffy, so J-Lo was all the war, right? Her PR people, it was about 8 top-notch executives inside this meeting when I'm walking in. They were on me, so I was like, ooh, sure. You gotta remember Ja Rule and J-Lo had that hot song out at the time. Irv and Suge relationship was starting to get good. He was like, man, that tape you had on J-Lo, man.
Remember when Suge was saying that he had a sex tape with her? And he had a sex tape on J-Lo. I mean, Suge, nigga, she do this, nigga. Can't do that, nigga. Destroy that shit if you got it. He said, yo, Gotti, for you, tell her no one will ever see that shit. Has anyone ever seen that?
Jennifer
Ben
truly
Affleck
loved Ben. It seems clear that he was the one who chose to end things. Ben could have simply drawn a hard line, especially now, as more and more celebrities rush to distance themselves from Diddy. Interview clip: Ben Affleck has never enjoyed the fame that comes with being a celebrity. He only appears during press, tours, and otherwise keeps to himself. That's why the news of him reuniting with Jennifer, woman known for loving the spotlight, surprised everyone. Here's a brief summary of Ben and JLo's relationship. They started dating in 2002 after working together on the film Jiggly. They broke up in 2004 after calling off their 2003 engagement. After marrying and having kids with other partners, they finally reconciled and got married in 2022. But perhaps that reunion was a mistake. Just 2 years later, their relationship fell apart. While JLo thrives on fame and attention, Ben prefers a quiet life. The switch to being with someone like JLo may have overwhelmed him. In fact, during an interview, Ben revealed he was shocked to find out Jennifer had been publicly sharing letters he had written to her 20 years earlier during their courtship. He considered those letters deeply personal and was upset that she made them public. She disagreed on that disagreement may have symbolized much deeper cracks in their marriage.
You accept an award for being something that you know you're not. How do you do that? You really thought that just running off and marrying Ben Affleck was gonna take you out of the Diddy downfall? But it saved her the first time though, didn't it? Because as soon as that club was over and as soon as they finished interrogating her, when she sat there and cried like a baby, I don't want to go to jail, Benny Medina put her with that drunk white boy.